My lines are just really, there it goes. Those are big lines. Okay, I just want to make sure.
That's okay. Honestly,
I think it seems accurate, though.
It's better if it's smaller and still showing up, because then that means less of the background noise will pick up. Because I can always make it louder, but making it louder also makes the background noise louder, and then I have to do noise reduction in Audition.
And you don't want to do any of that, so.
And it's just, it doesn't sound as good. It still works, but anyways, welcome everybody to the new episode of the BunghettiCast. This is episode 11. I'm not doing it weekly like I said I wanted to because I don't have time. But we're here. I'm joined by a recurring guest over here. We have Anthony Sechsy Studios.
Well, hello everybody
in the building.
Hello. Hater, not in the building, but out the building.
In another building that's different from mine.
In another state.
And yours.
In a different time zone, even.
Yeah. It's
so
that's crazy.
It's out the building.
I apologize if my voice seems a little weird. On my ride home from work, I was screaming while listening to the live version of Turbulent by Water Parks. Because
I have no idea what any of that is.
The live version just goes so hard.
I will check that out after this. I need to know what you were yelling about.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Honestly, Water Parks is good. It's one of my favorite bands, and it was one of my favorite shows. I just wanted to put that on.
Well, I will do it. Go check it out. You're just shouting it out there. Are you getting paid for this? Is that a paid sponsorship?
No, but if Austin wanted to give me a high five one of these days, that'd be cool too. But we're not here for Water Parks. We're here for your burning passion.
I just want to, so with the new Fallout series that had just come out, a lot of people playing Fallout again, and I'm a big fan, all right? I mean, to some, I might be not the biggest fan because I'm a Fallout 3 guy. I didn't play 1 and 2. I had the 360. 3 was huge back in the day, all right?
Everybody's
so don't get mad at me,
3.
man. Yeah, so it's topical, but I want to talk about Todd It Just Works Howard. Because I don't know how to feel about the dude. I really don't. Because, like, I kind of feel for him because, like, the way there's the interview going around with him talking to IGN, I think. And they're like, we gave it a 9. Or no, someone else is just like, IGN gave it the show a 9 out of 10. Yes. And he looks so flabbergasted.
I saw that. He was surprised.
Which, because, yeah, like, he hasn't been doing much good lately. And also, like, what does executive producer actually do? Like,
I have no idea.
I don't know the difference between a producer and an executive producer. I don't know. Because a lot of the times I feel like you can just get executive producer by, spending money on to make the production. They will just throw you a bone there.
Maybe, yeah.
Because, like, technically. But I don't think that's the case with here. But also, I assume to get the rights to the show, I'm sure Todd Howard was like, I want to be executive producer. But it does seem to have paid off for it. So,
yeah.
Because I want to talk about some positives quick with the show, like some spoiler-free things that I'd like to talk about because
there's a chance I'll watch it.
I was very impressed with it. Very, very impressed with it. I think my favorite thing about it, though, is every piece of dialogue in the show seems like a real choice you could make in the game, if that makes sense, without being like, without some stupid gag about it, too. Because they could have totally thrown in a scene where one of the characters like taking way too long to respond. And then we see from their perspective, like the choices or something stupid like that. And they didn't do that.
Like in their head or somebody's like,
yeah,
what's taking you so long? And then it's just like a gag.
Because they're just like paused and they're just staring at each other. Yeah. And there's nothing like that. So I was like, I appreciate that. Cause that was some low hanging fruit that I feel like they could have easily took.
Oh yeah.
No VATs though, which I thought was kind of weird, but I also was thinking about how would you actually incorporate VATs into a TV show? But I think for the same
unless
reason
it was like a goggles
I appreciate the other thing. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Or something with the Pip-Boy is what I was thinking maybe. I don't know how that would work exactly if like they pull it up, scanned them quick or some shit. Because I don't even know. Someone in my chat the other night said what VATS actually stands for. I want to look this up again.
Yeah, I forget.
So
for context, I have played Fallout 3 for 1 hour and Fallout 4 for 2 hours.
Oh, so not a lot.
I have played
Video assisted.
Go on.
Oh no, that's not that. Hold on.
Okay, I've played Skyrim for maybe 4 or 5 hours. I'm not a Bethesda guy.
So it's Vault-Tec assisted targeting system is what it means.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so Vault-Tec assisted targeting, that seems like something with the Pip-Boy then, right? Could I mean Vault-Tec targeting?
Yeah, it makes. I always like kind of assumed it was related to the Pip-Boy, to be honest.
Yeah. So I don't know, but that would have been weird to see in the show. Everybody's really horny for the Ghoul character played by Walter Goggins, I think is his name.
Oh.
And he does a fantastic job, but everybody's very horny for Mr. Goggins. I don't know if you've seen like what he looks like in this, but
no.
He doesn't have a nose.
Oh.
Or like, you know, he's a ghoul.
Oh, yes, I know that guy.
He's the Ghoul.
I've seen him in the trailers.
Yeah, exactly. And so people are very horny for him, which I find hilarious. And I did look this up because I made a video about this earlier because I was curious. So in my brain, I'm like, so he doesn't got a nose, he doesn't have ears and whatnot. He definitely doesn't have a ding dong, right? You would think from the radiation and whatnot. But apparently that is not the case at all. So technically speaking, your ding dong, because I didn't know much about my ding dong and I should have like, you know, probably known more about myself. It's not just like cartilage and stuff. It's actually like things down there. But as long as blood keeps pumping through your dick, then you should be fine as a ghoul and you should still have your reproductive organs. Not functioning in terms of being able to reproduce, but they still technically have them.
I see.
And can get horny and stuff like that. Just in case anybody out there was wondering about this like I was. Because I've been playing Fallout on stream for days now. And
you know, it's important.
I keep thinking about it a lot. Very important to the lore. But yeah, there is a sex worker ghoul I read online. There is another sex worker who talks, and she's a human, but she talks about how she doesn't like the ghoul customers because it's like squishy and weird down there. So
gotcha. It's kind of hard to make it work out like that.
Yeah, but what I want to talk about really today, so the Fallout show, highly recommend go check it out. It's a fun time. I'm not sponsored, obviously, but very fun time. But I want to talk about Todd Howard, the man himself, because he is doing a lot. Like, he has too much responsibility. Because not only is he, because I do believe he's like the head guy at Bethesda too, isn't he? Hold on here quick. I will just double check my.
All I know is that everybody makes fun of Todd Howard. Anytime he's on screen for anything, everybody goes, "Oh, it's Todd Howard. Fuck that guy."
It just works. Like, you know, the "it just works" meme, right?
Yeah.
When he's on stage and he's trying to like explain things and he keeps going, "It just works." And that's a huge meme. So that's why he's Todd. It just works Howard. But yeah, so he is the director, executive producer at Bethesda Game Studios. And
he's a big boy.
And he's personally directing multiple games coming out. And I'm wondering if that's why we're not getting these games, why they're taking so long. So my theory with Todd, because he has been around in the industry for a bit, right? And so he is a smart guy. I will give him that. Like Fallout, he directed Fallout 3, and it's one of my favorite games ever. So I have to give credit where credit is due. But I almost think it's one of those cases where his ego is just out of check. And I feel like since he's like top dog over there too, like one of the big dudes, he's got a lot of say in who gets hired, who works on what. And so I'm wondering if he's like surrounding himself with a bunch of yes men as well. Because I can't remember. Did you play Starfield at all?
No.
It's just boring.
No.
It's just boring. And it's a lot of emptiness, a lot of nothing.
Yeah.
But it's like Todd was so hell-bent on doing getting certain systems right and like doing things like so realistically. And for one thing, let me look this up quick, dude. They've been using their same engine. It's the Creation Engine 2. Yeah, the Creation Engine 2 has been around. Oh yeah, so that's the same engine since Skyrim, at least, for sure as he's here.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like that's the first, so that's the one with Skyrim on it. And so that's Skyrim, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Starfield, and apparently, I don't know, Starfield's on the Creation Engine too, so I was lied to online, because people kept saying it's the same engine. So I don't know if that technically counts. But I think I was misinformed here, because looking at the Wikipedia page, it is a different engine. But everybody online saying it's the same engine. So, I mean,
thanks.
But either way, online. It is their in-house engine.
Yeah.
And So I don't know how much work was put into making the second one, because I think the issue that I see online a lot with Starfield is that if Starfield had come out 4 years ago, awesome game. It would have been so much better, like in that landscape of gaming.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't work right now. It just, and I feel like they were like thinking, okay, so but like people love our games and they like will mod the shit out of our games
And make it what it should be.
make the game good. Yeah, and that's not going to happen if nobody wants to play the game in the first place.
No.
The reason people do that for Skyrim and Fallout games is because they love the game. But there's just not that same level of care put into it. So if you look at, do you know what Outer Worlds? I think is the game, right?
I own it.
Did you play?
I got it for free, but I've never played it.
So that's the people who made Fallout New Vegas.
Gotcha.
That's Obsidian. And New Vegas is hailed as like the
Yeah, I was
Fallout
gonna
game.
say everybody loves New
It's a big
Vegas.
deal. And so they made their space game Outer Worlds, which is a lot of fun. It is so much fun. Like
I remember.
it's goofy and silly, but it's also serious at points.
I remember seeing
But
trailers and stuff.
I recommend checking it out. I want to get like the DLCs and stuff, because my only issue with it was it felt short.
Gotcha.
Which I would rather have a game that feels shorter than a game that's just super bloated.
Yeah.
So I'm so sick of that in the industry, and I think that's where Starfield kind of fails too.
I think the version I have has a lot of, if not all of the DLC. I just got it for free on the Epic Games Store.
They do have the fancy edition that is out. So
it honestly, it was free again like a week ago with the with the special edition, but it's not anymore.
But either way, my point being is that a lot of gamers online, and so this is part of the reason that the game industry is kind of sucking, is because there's a lot of people who are like, I'm spending $70 on this. I want 70 hours at least worth of content, right?
70 hours?
Yeah, people want 70 plus hours into a game. You know what I mean? They want
Depends,
most bang for the buck.
I guess.
A lot of people out there. It's not.
I guess it depends on the game. A game like Starfield, yes, 100%.
But the issue with it is so people, you can't have like a game like, so if you make a perfect game, right, but it's short, people will still get mad at that because, well, I played this a game of people equate.
That's true.
Game playable time, like how much time it takes you to complete the game, with the value of the game, which is a bit weird.
I mean,
because I paid $70 for Mortal Kombat. Whatever the new one is, just Mortal Kombat 1 is what they called it.
Yeah, I think they just called it Mortal.
I can't even remember what it is. I own the thing.
1.
I played it for 4 hours worth of story, and I was completely content with my purchase because I wanted to play it day one.
Right.
I wanted to have it. That was on me. I knew I wasn't going to play.
Well,
I'm not a big fighting game guy, but I love the story of that game. But to me, that was fine. Because like I, in my head, was like, okay, I'm only going to get this much content out of this, and it doesn't really matter because it's what I want. So the fact that so many gamers out there are like, it was great, but it was only this long. So like, it's not really worth the money, but it's like the time and effort put into it kind of makes it worth the money.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the game, and it's also harder to defend for sure now that their games are getting more expensive. And
absolutely,
they're not complete games, and like they ask for more. Of course,
they're not complete, and they're broken as fuck right away.
Yeah, so like that's
where you're waiting,
especially because there's so many games that come out that are like $20, and it's like a 10-minute experience, and people are like, yeah,
yeah,
let's go.
So I don't know. I can't directly blame all this stuff onto Todd, is my point I was getting at here, to where Starfield felt a little bloated, felt very open for the sake of more time, I guess. Go explore. Nothing, because then at least you can't complain.
Bloated is
that we didn't do, and like it's even with like Skyrim though too. So I like Oblivion way more than Skyrim.
I hate Skyrim.
Simply because like you hate Skyrim.
I hate Skyrim.
I need to know more about you hating Skyrim because this is important for the conversation, I guess too. Like I need to know more about this. What don't you like about Skyrim?
Everything. No, I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before, but I'll just go through it a little quicker before we completely derail it. But
Well, I want to pad the runtime on it because I don't have a whole lot to say about Todd, but I just wanted to
open world
have a
games
discussion here.
In general are not my favorite, to be honest. I do feel like it's a lot of running around and doing chores, and like sometimes I just want to like get on with it. And that's just how I am. I'm one of those people that unless it's like a super story driven game like Detroit Become Human, I don't really care that much about the story. Like I'm just in it to win it. So and that might explain my game runtime thing.
That's why I like Oblivion so much more though. Because more of the characters in Oblivion are just ridiculous and you want to find out what everybody's deal is. And yeah, they might send you on you'll find a stupid quest, but the quest is so charming that you don't really care that it is just kind of like doing a chore.
Especially
but you're seeing
has the cheese.
What these silly characters are doing.
The cheese.
Huh? The cheese.
Yeah. So I'm sure that can keep you going along. But I don't know. Also, like Skyrim, the combat feels so slippery and bad.
Yeah, it's especially like if you're just doing melee. Like if you play like a spellcaster one, it's so much more fun.
Yeah, the bow and arrow is cool too.
Yeah, I do a lot of sneak playthroughs because that's generally just the fun, just climbing around through everywhere. Little wood elf guy sneaking around. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the actual sword fighting feels super clunky and like hammers. And I mean, hammers feel okay, I guess, because it is just a big bulky thing coming down.
Mm-hmm. And like,
but I think it's why I like the Fallout series more of the two, because it's that same thing but with guns.
I'm a hoarder, so I like to pick up everything and then not get encumbered. But that's just a nitpick.
Fair. But that's the thing with like Fallout 4, a lot of the junk does a lot more, so you just load up all your things, go back to your base, and use the junk actually.
Right.
But in like 3 in New Vegas, like you can do crafting and whatnot, but it's definitely not a big part of the game. Like you need to use it.
Yeah. And I also have a bone to pick with Skyrim because I went into this cave and I didn't know how to get out or finish the cave. Like I jumped down this thing and I was just stuck. So I quit playing.
And you can't just fast travel out of things either. Which you should, like, that's why just a fun little thing here. That's why in Tears of the Kingdom that you can do that one ability that lets you go back up to the top.
Yeah.
That's why they put that in the game, because the debuggers. That was for a debugging tool.
Yeah, they were like, I just want to go up to the
this
surface.
is a lot of fun. Like, yeah, this is fun, and this is a neat way to get people out of here so you don't get stuck like that. And yeah, Skyrim does not have that at all.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But
it's just not my favorite. And fun fact, from Software Meat Rider here, Dark Souls came out in the same year as Skyrim, but it got totally overshadowed. It did. They both came out in 2011. Yes. And I think that Dark Souls 1, even though it's a broken piece of garbage, is a way more enjoyable experience and a better overall game than Skyrim. But that's just me.
You know what I would partially blame that on, though? The console wars. Because if Demon Souls was not a PlayStation exclusive, do you think it'd be different?
I don't know. Because
Xbox 360 at that time was the fucking king. Like, that was the console to have. Like, the PS3 did okay-ish. It was fine. But the 360 was actually the cool thing to have at the time.
Yeah, I think it's...
And so, like...
Yeah, that's true.
Huh?
Demon's Souls was, like, a super cult classic at the time.
Oh, yeah, I heard people talking about it, though, is the thing. Like, it's not like I didn't know about it. I knew people in real life that were playing that. So, I think if it was on the 360, though, I think Dark Souls would have done a lot better. Because once...
Probably. Double your audience,
Once I learned about Dark Souls, I had a buddy who I was working with at Walmart, and he was super into Demon Souls and Dark Souls and whatnot. And so I got into this fandom, like, it was a few months before Dark Souls 2 came out. And I do think Dark Souls finally hit its stride around then, but this would have been 2 years, I think, after.
It definitely picked up steam.
Skyrim came out and Lena, so yeah.
Yeah, no,
I think it was just bad timing on that part.
I didn't even know Dark Souls was out. Like, I didn't know that was a game until until later. And I was
like Oblivion was a huge juggernaut on the 360 as well too.
So like
Skyrim the sequel to this game. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it makes sense to why things happen the way they happen, but I understand the bone to pick there. Because I have the same thing with Overwatch, because Battleborn was the better fucking game. if you know anything about Battleborn,
No.
and I Will Die on This Hill. And Overwatch ruined that game for me.
Hell yeah.
Because people are like, no, we can't, there can't be two games that are like arena shooters and have different characters. There can only be one, so you have to pick a fucking side.
Yeah, and Overwatch was Blizzard, so.
Yeah, and we picked the wrong side. I want the other timeline where Battleborn went out, because it's like League of Legends mixed with Battleborn, or mixed with Overwatch.
Right.
It's way more fun. Way more fun. But anyways, sidetracked. I want to talk about Todd Howard. Because the dude, I think, for one thing, so like I said, I think his ego is out of check. I call it Kanye West syndrome, where you do start off as a very smart guy. Like Kanye West he knows what he's doing with music, right? He was this young
100%.
up and comer. And every story I've heard about him from like the past, I think Jamie Foxx is the one telling the story about how he's just this humble little kid and really knew what he was doing, but he was still humble and had this thing. But once that ego got out of control, you surround yourself by yes men. You surround yourself with people who are scared to speak up to you because, you're their boss or whatever. And all of your ideas, no matter what, you're just like, all of my ideas are great because I am this great person who everybody's told me I'm great for so long. I think that's Todd Howard.
Things. Yeah. Yeah, Todd.
Yes, because Todd Howard he's been working on Elder Scrolls since like Elder Scrolls 2.
Really? Once Skyrim came out, he fell off.
No, because he was the director of Skyrim. That was the thing. But he was also the director of Fallout 3. Where is his directing page here?
Did Fallout 3 come out after Skyrim?
No, before.
Gotcha. So Skyrim's...
So it would have been Oblivion, then Fallout 3.
Skyrim's the peak.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too, to where... Because I don't think he was, like... super in charge of Bethesda. Like, I know he's a game director, but, like, I think his... Well, he's still... Who's in charge of Bethesda games?
It's Todd Howard.
It's key people on there. Angela Browder, studio director. Okay, so he's not the studio director like I thought he was. But she doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, really. Anyways, though, getting back, where's Todd's career? There was a whole works right here. So yeah, he's been in the he was the production team for the Terminator game in '95, and then a Skynet game apparently. But then Elder Scrolls 2 was in '96, and he was additional design on that. He was the project leader on the Elder Scrolls Adventures Redguard, project leader on Morrowind, which people love the Morrowind. And then we get executive producer on Oblivion. So he was not in charge of Oblivion. Executive producer on Oblivion. But yeah, then Fallout 3 was his big game directorial debut. 3 years later, it was Skyrim. All the Skyrim DLCs. Fallout 4, Fallout 76, he was the producer. But then we got Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6, and Fallout 5 coming out. Like, how the fuck is one guy directing all of that?
He's definitely just sitting there and people were like, this is our game. And he goes, yes. But could you add more blank space?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, he's got to... I have a feeling that everything's got to go through Todd, and I feel like it's just too much. And then he was producer on the show, too. Like, that's more time he's got to take to, like... It's the same thing like people... You know about George R.R. Martin, how people just keep getting pissed at him for doing other shit?
Right.
I think it's the same. I think people need to look at Todd like that more, too. Like, would you just focus on one fucking thing?
Yeah. I feel like people
instead of re-releasing Skyrim over and over again.
Maybe it's just me. I was gonna say I feel like people don't follow Todd Howard the same way they follow George R. Martin. But
I don't know, because people.
Maybe so.
He's very memeable. People know who he is.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I guess I just don't follow game media like that anymore.
Yeah, but if you're not waiting for any new Elder Scrolls or Fallout, I feel like it's different too, since you're not.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this shit for fucking ever. Like, I know Fallout 4 is getting issues too, but I am going to replay it here because I did enjoy it. It's not like I didn't enjoy myself. I just kind of kept screwing up and getting some bugs and whatnot still. But
I'm playing it here and there.
I want the new games. And he's the guy who's making the new games. He is directing these things. He is in charge of these things. Where are the new games, Todd?
They have to be perfect.
And then we got to think too, like, is Starfield going to be an example of how these games are going to be? Or is it going to be fine because they are actual established franchises and whatnot? So, like, is it going to be different? Is there going to be more charm there because of that? Because there was just no charm in Starfield.
Yeah, it could.
I didn't give a shit about anybody.
Totally flop because nobody's going to buy it at first until, like, reviews and stuff come out.
People are going to buy it.
Yeah.
People are going to have that. People have probably had their Elder Scrolls pre-orders in for how long now?
Oh yeah, the Elder Scrolls 6 was announced like 5 years ago.
It's been, it's because when did Skyrim come out? 2011?
Yes.
So we've been waiting 13 years now.
Yes.
When did GTA 5 come out?
Probably
2013. So that's only been 10 years, but we know. And Rockstar also put fucking. Oh, hold on. Because I bet they're using different directors for like Red Dead Redemption. Who directed fucking.
Rockstar also did a lot for GTA 5. Yeah,
and they kept adding shit, even though some of it was kind of scummy with microtransactions and whatnot. You didn't have to buy those.
Yeah.
But it was very much a pay to win thing, but
damn,
you didn't have to do it. Who's my director here? We got
Zingy Brombingus.
Do we even have a director? We got a producer, designers, programmers, writers, composers.
My character.
Do we not actually have just a one director?
For the new GTA? Or
for 5?
I don't know. It's such a big game. Who knows? It could be its own little...
Because we got developer, publisher. Then we got producer, would be Leslie Benzies. But yeah, it's a bunch of... So now I'm confused. Do games not always just have a big director?
Maybe not. Maybe the studio. Well, I'm sure whoever
smart actually, and like
whoever like produced it or whatever, whoever had the fucking money.
Are they technically the game director?
No, I guess there.
Because again,
there should be.
We don't have on Red Dead Redemption 2. There's no director. It's producer, designer, programmer, artists, writers. Same writer for GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, apparently.
Yeah, maybe it's just multiple people.
But yeah, it's different people working on these fucking things, all under Rockstar, though. So let's go to... If I go to the Fallout 3 Wikipedia, though. Yeah, we got a straight-up director on this page, though, so I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Thanks, Rockstar.
So I'm wondering, so it's got to just be a time management thing. I feel like he wants way too many things in these games, but he doesn't actually, because it just works. Todd Howard.
Yeah, with big games like that, you definitely have to like dedicate time to completely understanding a project instead of kind of understanding 6 projects.
Yeah, well, he's got 3. Well, I mean, Starfield came out, so that one's done. So we still got 2 more in the works, though. And also, don't even get me started on Fallout 76. I am so sick of people. People coming into my chats when I'm playing Fallout. And they're like, Fallout 76 isn't actually that bad. And it's like, I don't care that it's not actually that bad right now. That was some of the scummiest shit I've ever seen in gaming when that first launched. Like, right. For one, like they had did you know about the pre-order thing with that?
Maybe. And like
they were so you were supposed to get a vinyl bag, or it was supposed to be a canvas bag, right? Like a fancy Fallout canvas bag.
Yeah.
They ended up shipping them out. They weren't canvas bags, they were vinyl bags. It's like that crappy
right.
That crappy material. And then they also had a thing with like Nuka-Cola, where they were supposed to get these fancy bottles, but they were actually just like plastic shells around the bottles. Ugh. And they were doing all sorts of weird shit like that. The game just didn't fucking work. There were so many issues. There was issues with people getting into the room. What's that? Like, is it the developer room? Is that what they call it? Where they keep all the stuff in games? You know what I'm talking about? Where someone who's making the game can go in and check, like, get any item in the game.
Oh, yeah.
It's in most games.
They hide all the, like, props and assets and stuff.
And they have all the weapons in there so they can easily go and check them all.
Gotcha.
They have everything in there like that. So people found this in Fallout 76 and of course in an online game, so it broke the economy. And then Bethesda's solution was like, all right, we're just going to ban these people that have these items, not taking in account for the people who legitimately own these items. So they also got banned. And then, to top it off, if you wanted to get unbanned, you had to write a letter to Bethesda telling them why you were such a fucking naughty boy for hacking into their game and doing all this shit, and why you had to write an essay to Bethesda. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I played the game as intended, and now I just can't play anymore, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
And then there was a dude, he improved, like, the lighting with a mod, just to make it, look nice. It didn't affect the game at all, but he got banned for just improving something.
Did they have NPCs in that game? Because I remember one of the big selling points was like, no NPCs. It's all
I can't remember
players.
If they actually stepped back on that one, though, or not. I can't remember because I couldn't give a shit less about Fallout 76.
I remember hearing
but I know
about
that was a big thing.
Like, oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah. But then I was like, well, what if nobody wants to be the NPCs?
I want to be a merchant. I just don't want to do it in Fallout 76. I wouldn't mind running a storefront. That'd be a fun game.
You could have like you can make a funny voice for your guy.
Hey there, welcome to my store.
Yeah.
Would you like to buy some with?
That is cool.
You got all the best stuff here. Yeah, see, that'd be fun, but I don't know if that was the case or not. But yeah, I think a lot of that was Todd. He's just executive producer, but I don't know. And then they just the scumminess of the microtransactions in that game.
That is really bad. Maybe they should
way too much for cosmetics.
Just producer.
Yeah, I don't know, or just get he's leaving apparently after these games, I think.
Oh.
But when is that? That's not for years still. Apparently now they're saying for Elder Scrolls 6 2028.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. It's like, what are we doing? And I think it's because he wants to reinvent the fucking wheel every time.
It better be.
Everything to him has to have this new... You got to have a new big feature in the thing. And it ends up hurting the game, I feel like.
Yeah, I could.
Because Fallout 4 has a lot of stuff I like. I think the dialogue choices are bad. And it's not really a role-playing game as much.
I honestly couldn't care less about the camp building either, to be honest.
I mean, I think it's fun. I do think that is fun, but it does take away from other aspects of the game, and it doesn't really do a lot, I guess.
Porgus the Great doesn't care about camp building. That's the name of my Fallout 4 character.
Oh, doesn't care about camp building?
No, his name is Porgus the Great.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, he does not want to, yeah.
No.
I mean, because you don't have to is the thing. But the thing about that when they say that is that because I tried a file where I just wanted to kind of skip that. My girlfriend
does all that stuff.
You get, but the shitty thing with it is you get so much good experience right away that gets you those levels because they want you to work on that. So if you just skip it, you're so under leveled for even the first fights of the game.
Mysterious Strangers.
And when I say it's not really a role playing game anymore, it's because they gave your people can talk now. The choices aren't as much. You're not playing. In Fallout New Vegas, I can make a guy who's a sharpshooter. He doesn't take no shit from nobody, and I can have that in my head. You know what I mean? But in this, I'm still the same guy every time. If I want to be a meathead or I can play all these different fantasies out, but I really can't in Fallout 4 because I'm the same fucking guy every time.
Right. There's different dialogue options, skills. But they're not what you say doesn't you can't say the same thing two different ways. The options are just two completely different things.
Mm-hmm. And you'll be like, oh, I'm going to politely decline this. And you'll be like, shut the fuck up, piece of shit. I didn't say that.
What?
That's nice. Yeah, it's a lot like those the Telltale games, if you ever played any of those.
Yeah.
Where you're you think this option, you're I'm going to pick this. This sounds all right. And then you end up saying something completely different. That's a lot of Fallout 3. Or 4, I mean, sorry.
I started playing Until Dawn last weekend, and there were a couple times
I love Until Dawn.
Where it was the same thing, where I was I didn't mean to be that mean about it.
Oh, I love Until Dawn, though.
Yeah, I only made it through, I think I finished chapter 3, so people are starting to get grabbed, and that's where it stopped, or I stopped. Because it was... Oh, see, why it's so much fun, though, too, with that game is the fact that, it doesn't... You'll get a different story. I like the story in that because it doesn't matter how you play the game, you'll still get a story. Even if it's not the good story, where you save everybody, you still get a fun story. Yeah.
That's why I like that game in the
true replay value.
Yeah, exactly. Because, the good ending is getting everybody to survive, which is difficult. But it is fun being put in those situations where you have to decide quick.
Yeah.
Anyways, though, back before I got out, I'm just really nervous about Fallout 4 or Fallout 5 and Elder Scrolls 6, I guess is my point being.
Are they making Fallout 5?
But
I didn't hear.
Yeah, it's on the Wikipedia. Todd Howard's directing it, apparently.
Gotcha.
It's
I think
there.
Funny enough, I don't know if it was Todd that tweeted this or if it was Bethesda, but they said that all of the events in Fallout 76 are canon, including every ending, even though there's like...
Is it in 76 or New Vegas? Because I saw New Vegas.
New Vegas, that's what I meant. My mistake.
And I don't know how that works
even
either,
though there's like conflicting endings and like timing things that just wouldn't make any sense with the rest of the story. But they're like, yeah, everything's canon.
I'm wondering if it was just like a misquote is kind of what I'm thinking. Because
couldn't tell you.
I don't know. That doesn't make sense.
Right.
I guess one more thing I want to talk about here though too. What time? How long have we been going here?
36.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I just kind of wanted to, I kind of want to see what more other people think of what's going to happen with these games because it is harder to talk about online. People are very much for or against Todd Howard if you try and talk about these things.
Right. Yeah, honestly,
what I want to talk about is...
I'm probably leaning toward against right now.
Oh, me too. I'm definitely... I'm not a fan of the dude. Record. No, yeah, he's not doing well. And like Starfield was supposed to be this big thing that wasn't... It was a big thing, all right, but it was a lot of nothing. Unless you're really into like space travel and whatnot, yeah. I'm sure that's fun for you, but I want to talk about why the Fallout show works and things like Halo don't work. Because I don't know if you've seen the Halo show.
They took off his mask, right, or his helmet.
That's what I know. But so the difference between the Fallout show and something like Halo is there's no. I mean, yeah, they could have took characters from the games and brought them into real life, but I think the fact that they made their own characters for the show works so much better because you're not tarnishing a reputation of someone. You're not trying to add these things as opposed to when you're trying to make a Halo show and you got John Halo over there or whatever his name is.
And you're like, that's not what John is about. That's not what he's
That's not what he would do. This is not like him. And so there's actual characterization you need to keep track of and like make sure you're doing well, which obviously they didn't from what I understand because Halo fans are a little upset right now with the Fallout show from what I've seen. Not upset at the show, upset that someone can make a good thing out of their IP or make a good thing out of the IP.
Yeah, out of a video game IP too, because that's tough.
I'm so glad to, because there's probably a world where this was a Netflix thing. I'm sure there was a bidding war on it. I do think Amazon is the right place for it though. Because have you watched The Boys?
Yes.
I fucking love The Boys, right?
It's really good. And Invincible is also good.
They took such shitty source material and turned it into something so fantastic. Like, I know probably some people out there probably like The Boys comics, but there is no substance whatsoever in those. I don't know if you've checked out the comics at all. So in the comics, all of the boys have superpowers from taking the V. Oh. So it's really just them fucking up superheroes.
Gotcha, but this is really all this is the normals versus soups in the show.
Yeah, so there is no...
That is a lot more of an interesting premise. There's
like no storytelling to be done there. As opposed to when it's like regular people trying to fight Homelander, that's fucking scary.
Yeah.
Like that is legitimately terrifying. Like when Homelander is in the scene and there's just a human dude and something could go wrong, it is so tense. That man is like a shark who plays him Anthony, whatever.
Yeah, anytime he's that dude in a is so scene, good. You're nervous.
Yes, exactly.
And yes,
and like
he
in
is
the comics,
so
it's not the
good
case.
As Homelander.
But yeah, the comics is just all of like I love that they do the raunchy stuff in the show still too, because they could have been like, we don't really want to do dirty, gross things, and they don't get rid of that.
Instead, we'll just
but they definitely tone it down.
Person crawling up a pee hole.
Yeah, and I love that. That's one of my favorite scenes. I think it's fucking hilarious. I died the first time I saw it. And a man fucking an octopus. Love it. I love it. All right. But I don't need... So, like, every scene in the comics is just fucking people having... Like, superheroes having sex with each other. It's so much of it. Like,
gotcha.
Oh, I just can't. But yeah, so I do think Amazon is the right place for the Fallout series. And it does seem like we're going to get more. So, super hyped for the X. Right now, we only have our 8 episodes.
Yeah.
And it does seem like someone understands how a Fallout story should be. Because like I said earlier too, it does feel like the choices you'd make, all the dialogue in the show, the weird, like the choices, the paths you could take in the game, it does feel like these choices are being presented in the show, but they're actual characters who get to make their own fucking choices and whatnot. So
yeah,
I think that's really neat.
But the decision making is a big part. Instead of like, oh, something happened and now I just have to go along with this for the entire time.
Yep.
It's like,
because the
no, I
characters
don't
in
want
the
to help
show
you.
are forging their own paths. Exactly. Like there's no scene where I'm like, why the fuck would this person be going with them? Like, why is this person doing this stupid thing that makes no sense? Gotcha. And there's really none of that in the show. So this does give me hope that Fallout 5 is going to do something good, especially with this resurgence of fans. And like, I feel like they got to get off their ass a bit more, but they are re-releasing Fallout 4. I don't know if you saw this. So
I did see that. Enhanced.
It's coming out the 25th, I think, here, the enhanced version.
Yeah.
And it's like, God damn it. All right, you get one. You haven't done this one yet. And I am kind of curious, and I'm probably going to pick it up.
That's true. Skyrim's on everything, but Fallout 4 is, I mean, Fallout 4 is on the newer stuff just by proxy, because you can just play it on them.
Yeah, because it just came out. Yeah, because it hasn't been since what did that come out? 2016, 2015?
Around that time. I don't know.
So yeah, it's still, because you could play it on that'd be Xbox One, PS4 still.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, though.
Yeah.
But I don't really got much more to say. I just want to, come on and chit chat a little bit, because I'm very nervous for everything. But since you don't care to, it probably makes it way easier for you. Like,
I'm the perfect person to talk to about it, because I don't have an opinion.
You got no stake in this. Yeah, exactly. It's where I'm just, I want some fucking games. Like, why can't we just give the IP out to more people like we did?
It would be cool if they succeeded. I'm probably more excited for like a Fallout game than a new Elder Scrolls game, because I feel like the setting is more original, I guess. Whereas Elder Scrolls, it's like, oh, another fantasy place, but this is like post-apocalyptic. These guys are in these holes in the ground, and everything's it's not done as much. So I would probably
because there's not a million. Well, there is quite a few post-apocalyptic games out there since Fallout, but
right.
But yeah, I think you should check out Fallout New Vegas. Would be a fun stream for you.
Yeah,
just
it's everybody I know. It's their favorite game, I guess, except for you. But
no, I mean, I love it.
It is.
I mean,
it is funny that they made Fallout 76 or Fallout New Vegas. I keep mixing it up, and then made a better space game as well. Maybe they should just give them
Obsidian.
the IPs.
Obsidian rocks. Yeah, and like, so the thing with like the Fallout IP, anywhere in the fucking world can be a setting for this.
Right.
Anywhere. And like, even just let them make it on the Fallout, like just let them, because I think basically New Vegas is just a big mod of Fallout 3.
Yeah.
So like, I think even people today would say like, they just give them the rights, let them go mod this, hire some teams who really like Fallout, like they did with Obsidian, and
it is funny.
You'd be hunky dory.
Seems like live action stuff too has been pretty good recently. Like the Last of Us show is really good.
Yeah, but then you also have stinkers like Airbender and whatnot still, and
yeah, and
people like
the
it.
Uncharted
but
movie.
Yeah, I don't think anybody liked that.
Yeah, they need. I guess we truly do need more things with original characters, because like the first Resident Evil movie was really fun because they were all
with not extinction. It's just Resident Evil, then, isn't it? With what's her face?
Yeah,
it's like the girl main character who
whatever her name is.
See, my only issue with those is that they did bring in other characters from the games.
Oh yeah, the later movies are awful. But
I like the animated ones way more, though.
Yes,
you've never seen those. They're silly and goofy.
They're all really good. But the first Resident Evil, it's also that's not a perfect movie, but it's a better
for
movie,
the time,
and especially for the time.
For the time, like a video game movie that was doing something at least. But
yeah.
But then they also released that newer stinker that people weren't really fond of either.
Oh, right.
The reboot series.
They used the new Jill.
I don't know why, too. Something like that, too. I think it'd work way better to just make Resident Evil 1 the movie. You know what I mean? Inside the Spencer Mansion.
Right. It is.
With Jill, and
it is
that would be just a fun movie.
That was like the Smash Ultimate of Resident Evil. Because they had like...
What was?
The newer animated thing, because they had like everybody fucking in it.
Outbreak. I think it's something Island. Something.
Yeah.
I have it on Blu-ray. It's super fun, but it's kind of stupid. And
that's the only animated one I think I haven't seen.
I have them all on Blu-ray.
Heck yeah. The One Piece live action was good too.
See, I just don't like Netflix. They
don't
rub me
blame
the
you.
wrong way. I'm not big into One Piece either. But from what I've seen, it looks kind of goofy, but maybe that's what fans like, and that's what they're there for. But I also think One Piece fans are starved for fucking content and are starved for fucking... Not starved for content, I guess. Something just a bit different than the actual anime.
The show is so good right now, though.
Oh, I just can't.
It's beautiful. It's so crazy. Here's the thing. I had a show called One Piece Feast that I recorded with my friends Hunter and Sam. Hunter has since passed away. That's not actually true, but he didn't want to do it anymore, and Sam, he also really doesn't want to do it anymore. So the show was, we watched 10 episodes of One Piece a week, and then we would talk about it every week. Like all new, like fresh eyes or whatever. And then Sam and I were like, okay, maybe we can rework it and do it like by arc and not do it every week. So then we can watch it at our own pace. And then there's a little bit more to like talk about because it's an entire arc. And we still just haven't done it. So I'm thinking about just watching it without them.
And doing it yourself.
I know what happens. It would have been fun to make the show, but it really seems like it's not gonna happen.
Well, see, I wouldn't mind doing something like that because I've been wanting to watch One Piece. If you've seen that at all.
No.
One Piece, they just edited it down to cut a bunch of shit out that you do, because there's like so many scenes where it's just people yelling back and forth.
Yeah.
And because I was watching clips on TikTok of them, the side by side comparison.
They do pad it out.
And how much time it saves. Yeah. And so like I think I could watch that.
The more recent stuff.
And then it's just there's too much. Because I've watched 100 episodes of One Piece. And
oh yeah?
It was a lot. Yeah, I've tried. It's not like I'm not one of those people who's like, I couldn't get. I've watched 100 episodes of it. Like,
gotcha.
That is more than most of the series I like. That's like 4 of them put together.
Right.
So, like,
that's
real quick too. Did you check out Kaiju number 8, the first episode?
Not yet. No.
Oh, it's good.
I need to.
It's
I
real
forgot
good
about it.
It is.
I'll watch
everything I wanted
weekend.
it to be. Because I know we're chit and chatting in the text a bit, but so I have the first 4 volumes of Kaiju number 8, right?
Yeah.
As a manga, it doesn't really hit for me, just because like the story's not that engaging where I feel like I need to read it. But I knew seeing it brought to life would be a game changer, and this is why I don't like people who are like, no, the manga is always better, because the anime can add so much more quirkiness to something, and it's good.
It's crazy so good when people say that, because same thing with like dubs versus subs. Sometimes the dub is just better. I hate to say it, but sometimes it just is. And like with Jujutsu Kaisen and or it's just as good.
I've been watching Mash versus not Mash for Mashal Muscles and Magic.
Yeah,
I've been watching that too. Finished season 2, and
banger.
There are some voices I love in the English more than I do the Japanese. Like Mash in English is so much funnier.
Yeah,
he's so much more deadpan.
Saitama in English is good.
Saitama in English I think is perfect.
Reagan
I think One Punch
English
Man has
good.
the best like people who listen to the Japanese and then tried to emulate it in English for One Punch Man. I think that's the best example of that, because they all sound pretty much just like their counterparts.
Yeah, I met the voice actor for Saitama at a convention in Pittsburgh.
Oh, hell yeah.
Him and 2 other voice actors, I forget all of their names, but they like had like a thing, they would like stream together and stuff, and they had like these games that they would play. They had like really great chemistry together. Yeah, they did a panel where they just played like these games with each other, and like the audience would participate.
Awesome.
It was so fun.
So,
really great guys.
Are you caught up on the One Punch Man manga?
No, I want to. There was one night where I couldn't sleep, where I was going to do it, and I was like, no, because then I really wouldn't be able to sleep. So I'm
pretty much caught up. There's a couple new chapters I haven't, but when I was just watching the anime, I'm like, where the hell is season 3? And I get it now why there's no season 3 yet.
Oh. Okay.
There is no real good place to stop and start that story.
Like after where it's at now, it just goes.
Yeah. There's no, it's like, so the first 2 seasons take up like 80 chapters, I think is what I saw online. Might be less than that.
Right.
But it's like for where the story ends, because the story just keeps going. It's with so the anime, what's the wild man? What's his name?
Garo.
Who wants to be a monster?
Garo.
Is it Garo?
Garu or something like that, yeah.
Garo. Yeah, it's them just basically fighting him and fighting the Monster Association for like 100 chapters still.
Gotcha. I've seen clips.
It does not stop.
Yeah, I've seen people like post on like TikTok slideshows of some of the chapters that I've just read. I should probably just actually read it.
Yeah, because I mean, it's good. It's just a lot. I kind of wish I only have, I think, 5 volumes of that. I wish I had more because the phone screen does not do it justice with his drawings. His drawings are immaculate. Some of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's funny how they took the webtoon and turned it into more beautiful than fucking Michelangelo, Da Vinci, Leonardo.
And what's funny about that too is like a lot of his webtoony funniness is still in there. Like he's not getting rid of that, and I really appreciate that because Terrible Tornado in the manga is so fucking funny the way they draw her all the time. Yeah, it's always like the little goblin version of her.
Yeah, they do it on purpose.
But then they do the elegant, beautiful things when she's got the tornadoes and stuff behind her, and it's just perfect. They nail it. So yeah, I'd highly recommend actually going and finishing that read.
I have it on.
Have you watched anything else new lately? Do I need any? I've been looking for more stuff. I tried watching Assassination Classroom, and I'm like,
right now,
Evan's been recommended me a bunch.
I haven't really watched too much like that's currently airing.
No, you're missing out on that MASH. I think it's just got done.
Well, I did watch that.
Season 2. You watched season 2 of it?
I did watch that, yeah.
The only thing I'm mad about is the fucking ending episode. Why do we gotta end on a fucking fan servicey beach episode? I don't know if it goes anywhere else, but I did not finish the episode because I was binging it at night.
They had to, yeah.
And I haven't gone back to the episode to see but it felt like the story was done after the episode before it, so.
They had to pad out some, I think, they needed like the first 10 minutes of the episode, and then the rest they just had to throw away. But the only thing I'm mad about is not hearing bling bum 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 every week.
Yeah, I love bling bum bum bum. See, I watched it all like after it was already out, so we got 3 days till New Jujutsu Kaisen, and I got 5 days until Chainsaw Man.
Is it 3 days?
Yeah, that's what my Shonen Jump app says.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm looking at it right now.
I know they were taking a break for a couple of weeks or a week or two.
Oh, it's just too much is going. I feel like nothing has happened in the last couple of chapters, but a lot has happened at the same time.
A lot of character development. People are being so annoying about this.
Go on.
People are complaining that it's the same thing every chapter and nothing's happening. And
well, it kind of is. It is just a few punches and kicks and things.
They're just bringing
There's a little bit going on.
Random people
but it is
in.
This
He's running out of ideas. He wrote himself into a corner. Y'all need to...
Well, I don't think that at all. I don't think he wrote himself to a corner at all. I think there is a plan for all this.
Of course.
But it has just been a constant fight for however many chapters now.
You guys also, I feel like a lot of these people that are complaining, honestly, might be new to manga and might be new to, serial releases of chapters for manga.
Because I am new to manga and new to serial releases of manga.
Because...
That is me, totally.
Yeah, because here's the thing. A chapter is short.
Yeah, absolutely.
A chapter is very short and not a lot happens, so you can go 2 months and have half an episode's worth of content. So,
well, generally speaking, it's about 3 chapters per episode of a show. 3 to 5, I want to say.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do it in more a couple. Sometimes they extend it out so they take 1 chapter and do make it into a full episode. But a lot of the times it's 3 to 5 episodes, right? Or 3 to 5 chapters is usually an episode.
Right, and
somewhere
with
around that.
Breaks every other week sometimes and all that. I feel like people are just they're taking like real lifetime into consideration.
People don't understand the grind of a mangaka either, which is super frustrating.
Gege's cooking.
That's why I like Berserk so much, because that is the story of a man who fucking killed himself doing the best art I've ever fucking seen.
Right.
Not the best art, I guess, but his stuff is so like, you start from the beginning where his drawings are not the best, and by the time, I'm not even towards the end yet,
even in
the manga, but you're just watching it progress, and his world building and a lot of his storytelling, and just like the more you learn about this dude's life, you're like, oh my God, this is a fucking masterpiece that he put his whole heart into.
Yeah, it is fun going back and seeing how different it looks.
But yeah, the dude, it totally killed him. 100% killed this man doing this his entire life. And people don't get that.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I like
These
same
people
thing
are
with
nuts.
What's their name? They made they're currently making Hunter x Hunter, and like they did Yu Yu Hakusho and something else that was really big that I can't remember. Like,
is Hunter x Hunter still a thing?
Yes. So
we're just waiting on new anime, because the anime has been done for a long time, right? But not done.
Correct. Well, the reason for that is the mangaka keeps getting sick, and they can't make new chapters. So it's really slow. I think last year, like,
isn't his wife helping him some stuff though? Because she's the Sailor Moon gal.
Correct.
I think she helps him out with some things though too.
I think she does a little bit, but I feel like he still probably wants it to be.
But yeah, that's the thing with these guys. He's probably sick because the lifestyle he's been fucking living, trying to be a mangaka.
It's tough. Yeah,
it is.
I read a thing about being a mangaka. It's kind of what is it? It's like it's commentary, there you go, on the industry that got published, funny enough. And it's so bad. And like,
oh, horrible.
Shonen Jump, if you are not in the top like 15, don't quote me on this, I don't know the number exactly, but if you're not in the top like 15 for like 3 weeks in a row, you're dropped completely, and it's over. And
it's like, it's not even like enough time for people to actually appreciate something, because some things do take a little bit longer to get into. But that's why people need to think about like the whole, you need something right away to get your people invested in this thing.
Yeah, it is.
And that's tough.
It is really hard.
But I think that's why Jujutsu Kaisen 0 works so well too.
It works as a standalone, which is nice.
Well, yeah, but that's because like those characters are obviously in Jujutsu Kaisen, but
yeah,
different main character, different story, focusing on a different aspect of this world. Because like when I rewatched, when I watched 0 for the first time, I was already caught up on the anime. I didn't even realize there was not a single domain expansion in the 0.
No, and
because that wasn't a concept yet.
In the manga, there's no black flashes, and like half of the cast that's at the end fighting all of the cursed spirits in the other city, they didn't exist. They just retroactively put them in afterwards because of the anime. So it is funny how it works like that. The black flash did make me cream my pants when I saw it in theaters, though, because I was like, "What the fuck?" That didn't happen.
I don't get any cool anime movies around here. I barely even get the movies I want to go see here, which is super disappointing.
Do you have any Cinemarks around you?
Maybe in like Sioux Falls, I bet I could go, but that's like an hour and 20 minutes.
Gotcha, because Cinemarks usually do a lot of the anime movies. That's where I watched the.
There's I'm gonna have to find the Chainsaw Man. I will drive fucking 3 hours to Minneapolis if I have to.
Yeah.
For Chainsaw Man the movie, because it's not just because a lot of these anime movies are just retellings or shortened versions, especially like Demon Slayer. I think is notorious for that.
Yeah.
Where the movie is just a retelling of a certain part of it.
So the last 2 quote unquote Demon Slayer movies were like the last 2 episodes of the season, followed by 1 episode that was new. Before the official release came out. Actually dropped. Yeah.
So I'm wondering what they're gonna do if the Chainsaw Man movie. Have you seen anything about this?
I know that it's coming out and what it's covering.
It's the next part of the story, right?
Yes.
So I'm wondering if they're gonna stretch it out though for the anime and do that kind of thing, or if it's gonna be a movie and then you have to see the movie and then they're going to start the next part right after that, or how they're
No,
going to do
the
it?
anime is probably gonna cut the movie into parts because
You think so?
that's what they did with the Demon Slayer movie. The first,
but at least it's coming before, I guess. I mean,
well,
that's better.
the first Demon Slayer movie is like this train arc, like on
So, but was that
on a
because
train.
that's part of the anime?
It is
So I
now.
haven't watched the movies.
But when the movie came out, it was new. It was all new stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Gotcha,
then the
gotcha.
first few episodes of the anime was that train. So they kind of did it
Gotcha.
both ways.
See, and that's nice though too, because you do get more story, but there's no point in going back then, I guess.
Not in that instance, no. Plus, it gets like movie budget animation.
Yeah, so
like okay.
So it does look a bit, yeah, because there are some very fancy. Because I noticed that too when I started that, because I didn't really know about the Demon Slayer movies when I was watching it, and I was watching that season. I'm like, holy shit, this looks good. What the fuck?
Yeah, right. Out of nowhere.
Yeah, like I think it's like the opening scene where like the demon guy is like talking to his whole crowd and it's going through like his little lair and it just keeps falling through the buildings and shit. And you're like, oh my god, this is cool.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think that's about all I got here with new stuff going on. I got my little spiel about Todd. I talk about some anime and whatnot.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I might just start watching One Piece on my own. I don't know. I'll talk to Sam again about
See if he's down for that.
about doing
It's
it
just
by
so much.
arcs. But yeah. I need to watch it. I know what happens.
So when did they redo the dub for the first parts at all, or is it all just the 4Kids shit?
Oh, it's
or is that
new.
a different dub?
No, it's different. It's
but like
totally different.
Even if I rewatch the old seasons,
Yes.
in English,
They
have a different dub.
Yes, it'll be different. They also did
like on
remake
Crunchyroll, right?
I
Or would I have to watch
don't know
somewhere
if they put the dubs on Crunchyroll yet. I think it might still be a Funimation.
Because that's been part of my
thing.
issue too. Because I like the dialogue in the Japanese version because I think it's a lot more fun how they're yelling about booze and beer or booze and meat all the time, and like just stuff like that. That obviously the 4Kids was not going to do.
Right?
But,
No. They definitely do it. I would recommend watching the dub. The dub's good.
Because I like it, and I like the Japanese actors and dialogue a lot. But I was like, I can't sit here and read this all day every day.
They also remade a lot of the early stuff, and they're remaking it again. But it's a Netflix thing.
Oh, I want my Naruto remake. That's all I want in life.
Right. Ask Mr. Beast. He said he would do it.
Oh my god, of course he did. Alrighty though, I should probably get off here and go do some stuff.
It's
but
about
thanks
that
for hanging
time.
out.
Of course, it went by really fast.
It always does.
Go
We
listen
gotta
to
do
some
more
water
Silent Hill at
parks.
some point here too.
Oh, I know, right?
We gotta get Ethan for part 2.
Etan. Yeah, I think May he's gonna be out of the country again. So
Oh my god.
yeah, we gotta wait for
Fine.
his ding dong.
We should also do something else too. I want to play some games. I have a whole end of the month off here, so if you want to do anything,
Right.
do some gaming and whatnot, some
Who
scary
knows? We
games
might
together.
see
with the
something. I
boys.
don't know. Yeah, everybody, go check out Anthony. Sechsy Studios. If you just look that up, it's
Currently suspended on TikTok.
SY. Yeah,
If you didn't know that.
I did. I heard about it. Oops.
Yeah. You can't make fun of fascists apparently.
Happens to the best of us.
Right?
But yeah, thank you for joining. Everybody out there, go listen to some water parks too. It's good stuff. It's pop punk if you're into that. Pop punk, rocky, alternative. It's whatever. They don't really have a genre. They just kind of make music.
Hell yeah, dude. Undefinable.
But if you made it to the end, thank you. Thank you again, Anthony. And we'll see you next time.
Toodaloo!